It is official. 19-year-old Dzhokar Tsarnaev has been charged by the U.S. In relation to the terror attack during the April 15th Boston Marathon bombing. Apparently, the details we're getting is that the suspect was arraigned in the hospital by the judge. The FBI says that Tsarnaev still remains in serious condition. Last reports we had read was that he was unable to actually speak because of a throat injury, but he was communicating by written word. Now, what's interesting here is that the marathon bombing suspect has been charged in a sealed complaint. So for now, it certainly seems like we do not know what the specific charges brought against the 19-year-old are. This is interesting. There's been a lot of debate about exactly what charges will be brought against him, and importantly, whether officials will be seeking the death penalty against him. The state of Massachusetts right now does not allow for the death penalty, so if that were to be the case, it would have to be a federal case, which would take months and months of processing. But again, we are getting official word that 19-year-old Dzhokar Tsarnaev has been charged by the U.S. in connection with the April 15th bombing of the Boston Marathon. This was done so by a judge in his hospital. Emily, of course, the tragedy at the Boston Marathon left 3 people dead and more than 170 injured. Certainly the city of Boston still recovering from that.
And Sheila, we know that investigators have been questioning Dzhokar in the hospital room. Do we know if they're getting any answers?
You know, as of now, we do not know any of the specific communication that is happening. Again, the last reports that we have received said that Dzhokar Tsarnaev could not speak because of his injuries, but apparently was communicating through writing. We don't know exactly the nature of that. I remember one of the more controversial points of his arraignment was that his Miranda rights were revoked. They were not read to him. A lot of questioning about whether that this would be taken one step further and he would be labeled an enemy combatant, which brings with it its own set of rules, and whether this case would be tried in a civil or a military court. All of those details we are still awaiting, but again, this is a sealed complaint, so we may not ever find out exactly what the charges specifically against the 19-year-old are. A lot of details and a lot of questions still remain, Emily. Certainly the aftermath of the Boston Marathon bombing raising plenty of questions, political, also, lots of legal questions as well.